afternoon, Drag Racers. I'm Maddox.
And I'm Logan.
And for Season 5 of RuPaul's Drag Race, every week we will be bringing you our top 3 moments of the week, the shade of the week, our favorite queen of the week,
our least favorite queen of the week, our favorite look on the runway, and our predictions for next week's episode.
So stay tuned.
What do you want? What's the tea? Tell me what's the tea. What's the tea? Tell me what's the tea.
So let's talk about some of these moments from this episode that was all bamboozled.
Show.
My first moment that I needed to talk about was Lanisha Sparks deciding that she was going to be Michelle Obama. And she couldn't even say Michelle Obama. She said, RuPaul walks up to her at the table and goes, "Who are you going to be today?" And she goes, "Michelle Obama." And I said, "What? Who?" RuPaul went, "Michelle Obama?" And she's like, "Yes." And I'm like, "Girl, you can't even speak English. How are you going to be Michelle Obama? That is so disrespectful." I was like, she's like, "I got the look." And RuPaul's like, "But it's more than the look." And she's like, "But I have the costume and I have the hair." It's more than the look. Like, girl, what didn't you understand? And then she's like,
everything. Understand a thing.
I don't understand. And then she got dressed as Michelle Obama and looked nothing like her. And I was like, that ain't the look, girl. I was like, I don't know what you are doing, girl, but this ain't it. And then she decided on someone else, Celia Cruz, and still was a damn fool. So that was my first moment. What was your first
My first moment was when Alyssa said to Coco, "You're used to being runner-up and being behind me."
That was my second favorite moment!
Let me start here. Alyssa just started this episode with a bang! She said, "Oh, it's episode 5? Gert, look what I can do." You somehow win. I'm on this, like, crazy roller coaster of the Alyssa meth mouth. And it blows me away. One minute I like you, and then you say some stupid damn shit like that. Girl, you are lucky that Coco and her orange face didn't... That orange face.
That orange face.
You should be glad she did not get up and knock you out.
Ooh, I thought she was. That was my second favorite.
I'm playing around! Girl!
With her face cooking like that, I was scared. I was like,
she got Cheetos on her face.
You see, Alyssa, the thing about her is that, like, if you're playing around with someone and you're joking and you're reading each other as drag queens and friends do, you can't hit below the belt on a subject that you know doesn't sit right with the person. So if you know a person is sensitive about something, you can't joke around about it unless they bring it up as a joke. Like, you can't offer that as a joke, girl, because
that ain't
you call her
my appetizer.
Exactly. You started her off already on defense, and then you were trying to be like, "Oh, I'm joking."
I just can't.
Girl, we are not playing around.
I'm playing around, bitch. Girl, that voice shook my TV. I live in an unstable building, girl. It literally looks like she took a bag of Cheetos, crushed it up, and is using the Cheetos as her highlight.
I don't know what that... I see a lot of, like, black queens on that show have that orange...
Girl, you just use white.
Anyway, that was my second favorite moment, too, so we shared that.
My second favorite moment, I just want to talk about the Snatch Game. The whole damn thing.
Well, my third favorite moment was Jinx as Lil Edie. Because I usually am not a Jinx fan, but she stole the whole show. Because no one else did anything.
I mean, I liked Jinx. I liked Coco because she looked the part and talked the part, but you can't make Janet Jackson funny unless you pull your tit out.
Yeah.
I liked Roxy as Tamar. And I liked Alaska as Bunny, but you did need to use your voice.
Yeah, her voice was weird. But she looked, when they went up to her, I was like, oh, she does look like Lady Bunny. But yeah, you gotta be like, hi, some dope. Lil Edie kind of stole the whole thing.
Everything. And the fact that not one person knew who Little Edie was.
I know. I was like, what is wrong with these girls?
Did you not get an entrance exam to RuPaul's Drag Race?
They were like, who's Lil Edie?
What's a little Edie? Girl, you are ignorant. Then I hated Alyssa as Katy Perry, which ties into my third favorite thing.
Ooh.
I hated Lanisha as Little Richard. I hated Detox.
As Kesha. The
Hated
only
it.
part of Kesha that I liked is when she was like, can I go to the bathroom? And then she got up and peed
Girl.
on Tamar. I thought that was kind of funny.
I
But
hated
other than
Ivy
that-
as Marilyn Monroe.
First of all, Ivy, you've been skating by, girl.
It's time for you to put on
Skating.
your big girl shoes.
Bye. First of all, her hair was not big enough for Marilyn Monroe. It was like a little...
She had little Marilyn hair.
No.
And then when they showed her in the dressing room, she had the big Marilyn hair
Yeah.
next to it. Girl,
You
you
made
got
the
a
wrong
50-50 chance, and you
made the wrong
you
choice.
picked the wrong one, bitch.
And then your voice wasn't baby enough. Like Marilyn Monroe is very soft whisper, cuckoo, and you were not cuckooing, girl. You were howling.
And I really hated Jay Jolie as Taylor Swift.
First of all, Taylor Swift is not funny. Ivy didn't even get the jokes when RuPaul was feeding her jokes that she could have
Really made funny
And
moments
she was
off
like,
of.
oh, but you're political, Marilyn. And she just stood there. She didn't get it that Marilyn Monroe, like, had an affair with the president. Like, everyone knows that. How do you not know that? How did you not catch that joke? What is wrong with you?
Oh, I get it. My third favorite moment was RuPaul saying to Alyssa, you need to tweet Katy Perry. And let me read you the tweet.
Oh, she did tweet?
Hi, at Katy Perry. I played you on hashtag Drag Race. Oh, wait, let me do it, my Alyssa. Hi, Katy Perry. I played you on hashtag Drag Race during hashtag Snatch Game.
Gert.
I want to RuPauladize for not serving Katy Perry realness. P.S. I'm a huge fan. Let me tell you something. You know, the minute you audition for RuPaul's Drag Race,
That you have to
what
do
you're doing.
a snatch game.
And if you don't think I have 3 costumes ready to go in my bag, girl, and I'm bringing 3 characters. I wanted to maybe do Kim Zolciak, girl, I am done. You want to read someone about their wig, and you have on a Ricky's wig, girl? You would have said, this is my $435 hair. First of all, you say that to me, your $435 hair is going to end up in my hand, bitch. Because I'm just going to go, whoop! And snatch it, because I know you don't got 1 pin on that hair because you just serving She Glamazon on the runway. But back to your little tattered blue wig. You can't read and be both sides of the fence.
Yeah. And that's stupid.
Get a $435 blue human hair wig. You nasty
I hate when
cunt.
queens say things like that because, like, you could buy a cheap wig and make it look good. It depends on how you style your hair and what you do with the wig. You doing a shake and go wig, Miss J. Jolie, she was right because you just took it out the package.
But you did. I could tell you gave it a few shakes.
And you did shake it. Last week, the girls did not shake the wig. They just went. They just had to go. So it was
They were
no
on the
shake.
time limit.
They was on the time limit.
Good for you for having a $435 hair, girl, but you sure didn't wear it in the challenge. You looked. I've seen people in New York dress better as Katy Perry for Halloween. And it's not a hard look. Buy 2 cupcakes, put them on your tits.
Yeah.
Get fucked by someone that looks like they're homeless, then break up with them.
Okay, the shade of the week. Actually, my shade of the week comes from Jade Jolie. She was kind of reading this episode. I mean, I still don't like her, but her and Alyssa getting into a fight.
Alyssa, you need to stop fighting.
Miss J. Jolie was like, you want to talk about reading? Let's talk about your shoulders not matching your hips. I was like, oh, she pulled it out the bag, girl.
Where's your $435 hit?
Because, girl, there's not one thing I hate more when you see a football player man in drag and you like, girl, your shoulders are this wide and your hips are this wide. That don't go. You have to make a silhouette. You in that fishy, glamorous dress.
Girl, those back rolls were
You looked like a football player. And your $450 hair was not hiding your shoulders. So
she got you, bitch.
joke's on you, girl. You were Monica Beverly Hills
Zooing it! Okay.
What was your shade of the week?
I don't know. I have 2. When Coco said, I think that's the best makeup she's worn all season, when she came out with that little lion mask on for the mini challenge.
Alaska.
Let me tell you something. Alaska, do look in the mirror when you're getting ready. When you're doing I want to know. When you're doing your makeup. I mean, I know some queens, I'm not going to name any names. that get ready by a handheld mirror. It shows, girl, I have a production value in my drag room. I have a full light up mirror with 15 lights, faded the colors. Girl, do you look at yourself? Because sometimes it just looks like you got little black rainbows. And
her makeup
I
as
think
Lady
she should
Bunny
always
was the
wear a
best.
mask.
I think you should always wear a mask. You're a bully.
Didn't mean to bully, but seriously.
Oh.
And then the other one I had written down, which was the only thing funny about Alyssa is her overbite. You're a bully, Coco Montrese. You're a bully. But you know what? Hashtag overbite.
Listen, this week I didn't really have a favorite. I was going to say... Let me explain myself before I say what I was going to say.
Oh, dear.
This drag queen was really good this episode. This episode, I really did like her, even as a boy in her personality, and in the Snatch Game, I liked her. But she never looks nice on the runway, ever. So she could never be my favorite queen. And that's Jinx Monsoon. Because, you know, that nose, I don't get it. Why do you have brown on the full side of your nose, and then the center of your nose is about 2 fingers wide? It's a lot to handle. And
Hashtag 2 fingers wide.
and, you know, they called you pedestrian because you had on a scarf that you could buy from a $5 man on the street, and you put a hole in it, and then you put your head through the hole, and you belted it, and you looked bamboozled fool, girl. But you were good in the Snatch Game. Your little Edie was on point. Maybe you should just do characters because you were really funny. But that being said, my favorite queen of the week is Roxy Andrews. She mopped my Tamar. I do Tamar. There's a video here on this channel that you can watch me doing Tamar. I met Tamar and I played a lost Braxton sister once upon a time. I loved Roxy's Tamar. I thought it was really funny. It was on point. She had the one-liners down. And I kind of liked her runway look. I liked the hair. I didn't really like those fishnets with it. I wouldn't have worn those. Your face is always beat for the gods. So, you were my favorite. Who's your favorite?
Water off a duck's back.
Water off a duck's back.
I never thought these words would cross my lips. I had to slap myself to make sure I wasn't narcoleptic. But my favorite queen of the week
No, it's not.
is Jinx Monsoon. It is.
It is?
It is.
Okay, she was
Now
gonna
let
be
me
mine.
tell you why, because this needs a little bit of an explanation. It couldn't be Detox because she looked fat.
That octopus, jellyfish.
It couldn't be Roxy because she looked fat on the runway. And you're the campy queen. No one's made it this far.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
Pandora did,
Yeah.
but she wasn't good.
Yeah, I don't
Sorry,
think
I mean, I like her now, but
Yeah, I
I
don't
didn't
think
like her on the show.
Yeah.
But, you know, even with your little booger-ass runway, it can be worked on. I mean, Shangela was the ugliest damn thing.
That's
She had a
true.
piece of corn hanging off of her wrist with her first season. She came back looking good.
Yeah.
So I'm sure
look can be fixed.
you can be fixed because your characters are everything. And the fact that you can be that strong in a
Yeah.
situation, because I know pageant girls, and those fucking
Yeah.
girls, you want to call me a bully?
Those
Sit
girls are
yourself in a room with them. Because if you're not up to their level, you are going to get read for filth. And pageant girls have no real time for camp girls that do things like
Yeah.
Jinx. And Jinx ain't budging. And I believe that Jinx is officially a force to be reckoned with on this show. I think she's going to get her shit together.
If she got a
I think
fierce
she's gonna
runway
give
look
it to
together, she could have been my favorite queen of this week.
And
And I felt really bad for her because she
I was
every
crying.
time
I was legitimately
she's like
on my
every
couch
time I go into a situation, it's the same thing.
and I have to restart
Yeah.
and re-explain everything. And that's not right.
being fun, but
no one's asking.
being a funny queen. First of all, the thing that I hate about a lot of queens, especially the ones that say they're beauty queens or they're pageant queens.
Girls.
Thing I don't like about them is that if you don't do pretty the way they
Then
think
you're not
pretty is, then you... What do you mean?
Why are you a drag queen?
Why are you a drag queen? You don't do pageants? What are you doing? And I think that's very off-putting. And a lot of girls make great careers being funny.
Look at Mimi. Look at Pandora.
Exactly. Like,
And you know what? When are you going to tell the pageant girls do something not glamorous?
yeah.
Do camp. Never. It never gets said.
Yeah.
But
they always tell the camp
But you
girls
always tell the camp girls,
pretty.
do glamour, do...
Yeah.
It's not easy to do camp.
No,
It's not easy to do a character.
And it's not easy
Obviously,
to be funny.
you can't be Katy Perry.
Exactly.
And she didn't even think so. She went outside the box and blew you away with something none of y'all even knew. She whooped your ass
And none of y'all
with a
even know the
lunchbox with someone's face on it that you ain't never seen. So, Jinx Monsoon, you are the little transformer that could. I think it's time for monsoon season.
Monsoon season.
Hashtag monsoon season.
My worst queen of the week, without being even said, we've already kind of clocked it.
Alyssa.
I mean, last week she was my favorite queen. She just did like a full turnaround.
Enough.
Yes.
Enough.
I'm done.
You want to call me a bully?
She is a bully.
You want to call me a bully?
And
Go
she
on
hits
her page and call her a bully.
Yes.
And you know what? Your crown got taken away from you. Get the
Over
fuck
it.
over it. You're now in a new competition. You think you're so good? Beat her at this competition. I've had it. I look forward every time Drag Race girls are in New York. I never want to meet you. Ever. Because I have a feeling, two absolute perfected drinks in my system, you and I are not going to get along. Because I'll tell you that you have meth mouth. I'll tell you that your $435 wig is ratchet. I will tell you that, girl, you lost. You're going to lose this. Get over it. Pack your bags. Good fucking bye. My glass of Alyssa is empty, and I don't want a refill.
Okay, my favorite girl on the runway was Lanisha. She always brings it on the runway. She can't do nothing else, but she could pull a look together. Listen, that outfit was everything. Leather, lace, chains, the hair was whoo, her face was beat. So she was my favorite on the runway. Unfortunately, like I said, she really does not bring it anywhere else.
She needs to go on Hooked on Phonics with Monica Beverly Hills doing it. My favorite on the runway was Downtown Julie Brown. Because I hated everyone else.
Downtown
Hated it.
Julie Brown.
It was either RuPaul or Downtown Julie Brown because the rest of you were... You know what? I like Roxy's hair. I liked it. But you want to call someone pedestrian, she's a pageant girl. And for being a pageant girl, that's pretty pedestrian. I know you got better looks than a denim jacket. Grr.
Jinx won the main challenge, obviously, because she was...
That's good for you, little transformer. Mama's rooting for you.
And then the bottom three kind of gagged me. I mean, her Kesha wasn't that great, but I think Taylor Swift was way worse. Like, Taylor Swift didn't do anything. At least...
And she looked horrible on the runway. I don't understand what's going on.
I thought the bottom three would have been and should have been J. Jolie, Ivy, and Lanisha, obviously, because Lanisha had to be there. But when they were
Ivy,
like,
your little dress saved the day.
yeah, your little goldfish dress saved you. So then it was Detox versus Lanisha, whatever, Sparks or whatever.
That was a great...
And they did Take Me Home by Cher.
I'm sorry, I thought they were both great.
They were both great, but I knew Lanisha was going home. Like,
well, Snatch Game is the Puerto Rican Sun Home.
yeah, that's like their death trap. Like, if you Puerto Rican and they say Snatch Game, you should just pack your bags because you're going home. Yes, so my predictions for next week, I think the bottom three should be Ivy, Coco, and Alyssa.
Does Jade not exist in this world?
You know, I figured that maybe if I just put her out of my mind, she would just disappear. So
Next week is the singing challenge. Jinx can sing. Alaska can sing.
And I said Ivy because she's been really playing it safe and
Girl, you are scooting and booting. Like that little dog that rubs its asshole on the carpet, girl. You just scooting on through Drag Race.
J. Jolie, I'm so tired of like reading her, so I don't even care anymore.
My predictions are that the reunion is going to be great. They're all just going to be screaming at each other. Finally, it'll be a reunion worth watching. It won't be Mimi coming out in an umbilical cord dress.
That they blur.
Oops, awkward.
Shots.
My predictions are, well, what I'm hoping is that it's going to be Little Miss Ivy Winters and Jay Jolie in the bottom.
And
Ivy, send her home, please.
I've never seen Ivy lip sync. I've seen her perform doing her like circus stuff, but I've never seen her do a lip sync, so I don't know how that would be. Ivy Winters, you're gonna be in the bottom, definitely. Like definitely.
Bottom
the other person, the bottom three, definitely. The other two people, I'm not sure, because Jade's been scooting and booting too. So.
I've had it.
That's how I feel about that.
This is the only review where you can burp and throw shade.
So, leave your comments below. Let us know who do you think is going to be in the bottom next week. And tune in next week to find out what's the tea.
Tell me what's the tea?
Sometimes I'm a day late, $1 short, girl.
It's Jellicle Friend.
And it's not a review, it's a review.
Ooh.